Hello, good morning. Welcome back to today's online class. I am Radhika, your economics teacher. Children, we will study Economics Chapter 3, Poverty as a Challenge. Today, you have a conclusion part. Today's your topic is Causes of Poverty. There were a number of causes for the widespread poverty in India. One historical reason is the low level of economic development under British colonial administration. One of the historical reason is the low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. That is, the policies of the colonial government ruined traditional handicrafts and discouraged development of industries like textiles. This is the one of the reason for the poverty. What is the one of the reason for poverty? Low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. Why there is a low level of economic development? Because the policies of the colonial government ruined traditional handicrafts and discouraged the development of industries like textiles. Then second reason, low rate of growth. Low rate of growth is one of the important reasons. This results in less job opportunities and low growth rate of income. That means there is a less job opportunity. Because of less job opportunity will lead to low growth rate of income. And this was accompanied by high growth rate of population. Three factors are there. First, less job opportunity. And second, low growth rate of income. And high growth rate of population. That three factors together make a low rate of growth. Okay, then first reason, the low level of economic development. Second reason, low rate of growth. This result in less job opportunities and a low growth rate of income, and this was accompanied by high growth rate of population. Then third factor, lack of land resources. Lack of land resources has been one of the major causes of poverty in India. This is another major the causes of poverty in India. Land reforms which aimed at a redistribution of assets in rural areas have not been implemented properly and effectively by most of the state government. Okay, lack of land resources. Now, our government took a lot of measure for introducing land reforms, but the implementation of these land reforms were not effectively in most of the state government. Okay, then this is also led to poverty in our country, lack of land resources. Effects of irrigation and green revolutions were limited to some part of India. Effect of irrigation and green revolutions were benefited only some part of our country. They were limited. That means they are concentrated in a few states of our country. This also led to poverty in our country. Now we discussed the four factors. First, low level of economic development under British colonial administration. Then second, low rate of growth. And third, lack of land resources. And fourth, effects of irrigation and green revolutions were limited to some part of India. Then next, backwardness in agriculture. This is another major cause. Backwardness in agriculture is also an important reason. People mostly use old traditional method of farming. This requires much labor and time and gives low productivity. Backwardness in agriculture, that means we didn't start to use a modern implementation, that modern technology. And the people mostly used in our country, the farmers mostly used old traditional method of farming. And for practicing that old traditional method of farming, we require a number of labors and we need a lot of time. But the result is very, very low. This is the another reason. And industries was not able to provide enough job. Industries also not developed too much. That is why they can't provide job opportunities. There were huge income inequalities, and the distribution of income inequality also led to poverty. That means the money or income is concentrated in few hands, and the most of the people didn't get any money. Okay, unequal distribution of income, huge income inequalities. And the last one, many other socio-cultural and economic factors. Many other socio-cultural and economic factors means this also responsible for poverty. In order to fulfill social obligations and observe religious ceremonies, people in India, including the very poor, spend a lot of money. For conducting our religious ceremonies and other functions, the poor people also need to spend a lot of money. But in their hand, there is no money. From where they will get money? They are borrowing from the rich money lenders, and they can't repay that loans. That is why they will the victims of indebtedness. So the high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. Okay, these are the main causes of poverty. Which are the main causes of poverty? First one, low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. Then second, low growth rate of income. Then third, huge income inequalities. Fourth, backwardness in agriculture. And last, socio-cultural and economic factors. Okay, these are the main causes of poverty. Next, anti-poverty programs. Aims of anti-poverty programs. Removal of poverty has been one of the major objectives of Indian developmental strategy. Okay, for our government, this has been the one of the major objective. What is the one of the major objectives of our Indian government? That is removal of poverty. In that way, we started anti-poverty measures. Let's see the aim of anti-poverty programs. Promotion of economic growth. First one, promotion of economic growth. Okay, children, this is of. Okay. Promotion of economic growth. Over a period of 30 years lasting up to the early 80s, there were little per capita income growth and not much reduction in poverty. Official poverty estimates, which were about 45% in the early 1950s, remained the same even in the early 80s also. Since the 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world. The growth rate jumped from the average of about 3.5% a year in the 1970s to about 6% during the 1980s and 1990s. The higher growth rates have helped significantly in the reduction of poverty. Therefore, it is becoming clear that there is a strong link between economic growth and poverty reduction. Clear? When the economy increases, when the economic growth rate is increases, according that we can remove and we can eradicate poverty from our country with the help of increasing economic growth. Okay. Economic growth widens opportunities and provide the resources needed to invest in human development. This also encourages people to send their children, including the girl child, to school in the hope of getting better economic return from investing in education. Okay, children, because of economic growth, there is a lot of job opportunities. Because of the lot of job opportunity, in the people will get more money, and with the help of that money, the people are sending their children to school. With the help of education, the children will become the asset of an economy. In the future, they start to earn more money. In that way, we can eradicate poverty. That is why our government started anti-poverty programs. What is the one of the aim of anti-poverty program? That is promotion of economic growth. Okay. Then the poor may not be able to take a direct advantages from the opportunities created by economic growth. Then another problem. Okay, the economy is growing. From that growing economy, the people getting benefited. Through that benefit, the people are enjoying all the social facilities. Okay, children, but it is not reached in equal way to all the people living in our country. The poor may not be able to take a direct advantages from economic growth. Moreover, growth in the agriculture sector is much below expectation. Agriculture, our farmers, that growth rate is not reaching up to our expectation. Okay, this has a direct bearing on poverty as a large number of people, poor people live in villages and are dependent on agriculture. In the agriculture side, there is no economic growth. So, what is the next aim? The high growth rate helped significantly in the reduction of poverty. The next one, the targeted anti-poverty programs. Okay, children, the economic growth is happening, and this high growth rate of economy help significantly in the reduction of poverty. But this is not reach in the hands of deserving people, that means poor people. So, this is the another important aim of anti-poverty program is targeted anti-poverty program. Targeted means we are targeting some people. Okay, targeted anti-poverty programs. In these circumstances, there is a clear need for targeted anti-poverty programs. In that way, we started the certain anti-poverty projects. Let's see. Okay, the aim of anti-poverty programs are promotion of economic growth. This economic growth helps significantly in the reduction of poverty, and these anti-poverty programs aim targeted anti-poverty programs. These programs are formulated to affect poverty directly or indirectly. Clear, children? Let's see which all are the anti-poverty program we started. First one, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. This was launched in 1993. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana was launched in 1993. It is aimed at providing self-employment opportunity to educated unemployed youth in our rural areas and small towns. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana was launched in 1993. What is the aim of this project? Aim at providing self-employment opportunity. Providing self-employment opportunity to educated unemployed. Educated. This is most important thing. Educated unemployed youth in rural area and small towns. Under this program, scheduled banks provide loans at a lower interest rate to start small businesses and set up industries. Okay, through this program, the people can find out self-employment. For starting that self-employment, there is a bank facilities. The banks is providing loan at a low interest rate. With the help of that loan, the people, educated people can start a business, small businesses or set up industries. This benefit will enjoyed only by those people in rural area who are educated. This program was launched in 1993. Then, Second, Rural Employment Generation Program. REGP, Rural Employment Generation Program. This program was launched in 1995. The aim of the government is to create a self-employment opportunity in rural areas and small towns. Same way. Okay, here and the last one, that is Pradhan Mantri. What is that, children? Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. Here also, they aim at providing self-employment opportunity to educated unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns. Okay, then here, the aim of the government is to create a self-employment opportunity in rural area and a small town. They are not targeted educated. All the people will get this benefit. They can enjoy in the rural area or in a small town. Any kind of people can get these benefits. Okay. A target for creating 25 lakhs new jobs has been set for this program at the 10th 5-year plans. According to 10th 5-year plans, we created a 25 lakh new jobs. Okay, Rural Employment Generation Program. Next, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarajkar Yojana. This was launched in 1999. Pradhan Mantri, that is 1993. Then after Rural Employment Generation, that is 1995. Then this is 1999, Swarna Jayanti. Okay, this scheme was launched in 1999. These programs aim at bringing the rural poor families above the poverty line. According to this project, they want to bring out the poor family from below poverty line to above poverty line. To achieve this goal, it organized them to self-help groups, that is SHGs, through a mix of bank credit and a government subsidy. To achieve this goal, in which way we can bring the poor family to above the poverty line? With the help of self-help groups, that is Ayalkootam and Kudumbasri, like this is the one of that type of project. Okay, through a mix of bank credit and a government subsidy. Next one, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. This program was launched in 2020. First we said the Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, and this is Pradhan Mantri. Prime Minister, that is in English term, and this is a Hindi term. Okay, Pradhan Mantri. Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. This program was launched in 2000, and under this program, the central government provided additional assistance to the state government for improving basic services in the villages. That means the central government assisting, that means they giving financial help to state government for bring basic services or improving basic services in the village areas. The basic services covered under this program are, basic services means what all are the area it will cover? That is primary health center, primary education, rural shelter, rural drinking water, and rural electrification. This is called a Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Next, and very, very important project, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, MNREGA. Actually, first time it was known as a Rural Employment Guarantee Act only. Now we added that Mahatma Gandhi. It is a revised name. Okay, children. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This act was passed in September 2005. This act provides 100 days assured employment every year to every rural household to ensure livelihood security in rural area. Under this project, they provide that the government will provide 100 days assure. Assure means there is a surety for getting job. 100 days assured employment every year to every household in rural area. That is, it is known as what? Rural Employment Guarantee Act. They're giving one guarantee. There is a no doubt in a year, 100 days, those will get a job. Okay, this act provide 100 days assured employment every year to every rural household to ensure livelihood security in rural areas. It is also aimed at a substantial development to address the causes of drought, deforestation and soil erosion. And under this project, this area also coming, what are the causes of drought, deforestation and soil erosion also. 1/3 of the proposed jobs would be reserved for women. This is another feature of this act. And 1/3 of the job they are giving to whom? Women. And the scheme provided employment to 220 crores persons, day of employment to 4.78 crores household. Okay, 220 crores people will get a job from 4.78 families. Crores, that means 4.78 crores families. From that family, 220 crores persons will get a job according to this project, under this project. Clear? Then next, Antyodaya Anna Yojana. This scheme was launched in December 2000. 1 crore of the poorest among the BPL families was covered under the target PDS. Okay, children. And this is for those who are the poorest in the poor. Okay, 1 crore of the poorest among the BPL families was covered under the targeted PDS. PDS means public distribution system. The last class we discussed about a ration shop. Okay. 25 kg of food grains was made available to each eligible family at a highly subsidized rate of rupees 2 per kg for wheat and rupees 3 per kg for rice. That means at a 2 rupees they will get a wheat and at a 3 rupees they will get a rice. Okay, then how much food grains they will get? 25 kg food grains. And this quantity has been enhanced, that means increased from 25 to 35 kg with effect from April 2002. At the beginning time, they provided 25 kg. The wheat price is 2 per kg and the rice price is 3 per kg. And each family will get a 25 kg of food grains. But in 2002, it increased from 25 to 35 kg. Antyodaya Anna Yojana. This is for the poorest among the BPL. These are the important projects, that means the anti-poverty measures started by our government. Okay, the anti-poverty alleviation programs. Then our government took a lot of initiative for eradicate or alleviation of poverty from our land. But the poverty is now also a challenging of our country. Then ineffectiveness of poverty, lack of proper implementation and right targeting. Okay, children, lack of proper implementation. The government have a lot of ideas, but that ideas they are not implementing properly, and they are not taking the right targeting. Understand? That means they are targeting certain people, and that target have a certain problems. They are not targeting a deserved people. Lot of overlapping of scheme. Overlapping means one another one is coming. They are not implementing properly. Simply they are making project. Overlapping is there. Okay. And next, the benefit of scheme do not reach the deserving poor completely. And the benefit from the each project do not reaching the hands of deserving poor people. Therefore, the major emphasis in recent year is on proper monitoring of all the poverty alleviation programs. So, we should take an initiative for monitoring all the poverty alleviation programs. Okay, children, poverty still remain a challenge in India. Why? Because though poverty has declined in India, but despite the progress, poverty reduction remains India's most compelling challenge. Okay, poverty rate is coming down, economic growth is there, then also poverty is remaining a challenge for our country. Wide disparities in poverty are visible between rural and urban areas and among different states. Wide disparity, the wide difference of poverty in rural and urban area and different states also, from one state to another states also. The certain social and economic groups are more vulnerable to poverty. Then especially certain groups are there, SC, ST, woman, girl, child. Those are vulnerable to poverty. Poverty reduction is expected to make a better progress in the next 10 to 15 years. Okay, children. Okay, I am going to stop here. See you next time. Thank you.